how do we measure spiritual maturity beyond Bible knowledge and church attendance?
Get your answers and you and him. Not pre-digested through books and sermons and comments and counselors.
Yeah.
Those are added, but that should not be your foundation.
That God has given me everything that I need. I don't have any issues in my life. Oh boy, their marriage would be struggling. The wife is struggling and crying, but this person is so oblivious to what's happening around him.
I don't even want to date a spiritual guy anymore. I think I want just someone that is not so spiritual, so that maybe I find the heart, because this spirituals is perfect outwardly, it's like white sepulchers, but inside there's nothing. It's dead. Spiritual maturity is not overly connected to mentors. It's not overly connected to spiritual leaders in your life. Spiritual maturity is like you and God alone.
God, please show me, do me a miracle. And then I clearly, distinctly hear this impression, hear this voice saying, be specific. What miracle do you want? And then I pray, God.
Being transformed takes dedication, and it's basically a lifestyle.
Welcome back to another episode on Happily Ever After. We are the Raj family. Honey, I have a very important question to ask you.
Okay.
Can someone attend church regularly, preach eloquently, quote Bible scriptures quickly and frequently, and give Bible-based corrections or principles taken from the Bible for correcting and leading other people to God, and yet miss a genuine connection with Christ?
Yes.
Can you explain more?
Well, doing things externally sometimes is even easier than living a genuine experience, like a real thing. Like, it's easier to tell others what is right than doing what is right. It's easier to have a lot of knowledge, but not really implement it. So in life in general, it is easier said than done.
Yeah, but they are still able to quote scriptures. They are still able to tell you what is right and what is wrong. Then they should know better, right?
Yeah, but we see a very clear example. Satan knew how to quote the scriptures to Jesus in the desert. He knew what to quote, but that doesn't mean he was transformed by the word of the Lord. He was just using it because he knew what to use. So I think, yes, by our fruits, people will know. So that doesn't mean we shouldn't quote scripture, we shouldn't share the truth, but it should be more than the outward eloquence or knowledge. Like, how do you say, when someone shows off with their knowledge or their prayers or their teaching, that's a blessing, but is it matching with their day-to-day life? When you are not doing that, what are you doing?
Yeah, I agree, especially with the comparison with Satan. It's so perfect because Satan knows every single word from the Bible, and it has not changed him. It has not transformed him. It doesn't have a grip on his heart where he can change and come. So people can have a knowledge. People can have some type of understanding as to what the Bible is talking about, or they can be really fluent with Hebrew or Greek or decipher the parables and all of those things. And yet, it might not have transformed their hearts.
And I think it's a very fine line, because I know that for me, it came to a point I was looking for someone that would hold spiritual values, that, for example, be interested in praying together or doing worships together, even in a committed courtship or relationship, not just as friends, but there's formalism, how do you say, forms of spirituality, and there's genuine connections. And how many people maybe read the Bible for an hour, pray for 30 minutes, and do everything right, but they get so riled up and upset right afterwards, or they don't even process what they're reading. They're just like reading like a marathon in reading, or just a checklist in praying, and it's more like traditions and forms, not a genuine experience and desire. And there's a big difference in that. And so I think we can know what is best, but if we don't do it with our full heart, then we are missing the point completely. Like the Pharisees in the Bible, they knew many things, what was right, what was wrong, but they focused so much on forms and traditions that they lost the spirit, they lost the thriving component of why that is even there. So I think the same can happen to us as humans. But I got so disappointed with seeing that forms, but then so hollow and empty, that I was like, I don't even want to date a spiritual guy anymore. I think I want just someone that is not so spiritual, so that maybe I find the heart, because this spirituals is perfect outwardly, it's like white sepulchers, but inside there's nothing. It's dead. You ask questions and there's no answers. There's no desire to think. And so that becomes so empty. And so I knew I wanted to grow spiritually, and I was looking for someone that would want that. So I was attracted to spiritual guys, but it was so empty sometimes that then I was like, do I really? So it can make us then go the other pendulum. Like I didn't almost want someone that was really
quote unquote
spiritual, or even, more conservative, trying to follow God's will, but more liberal, and maybe, I would find a more genuine person.
And it would make sense, because the understanding is that if the conservative people are more dead inside but pretending to be whitewashed sepulchres outside, that's just a form of godliness. It is not really a true change in their character or in their hearts. Then might as well the other side of the pendulum looks more attractive, and it makes it look like more real. But will it help going to the other end of the pendulum? Because we have values, we have our purposes, we see certain things, and we believe it is God who puts those thoughts and values in our hearts. Are we okay to compromise on those things that we believe to go to the other side of the pendulum?
I realized that it didn't work either, because then I opened myself to many other ways of dating, and I found out, whoa, this guy, he's really genuine, and we do connect a lot better, and it's like more depthness, but then some other things are so off that I wouldn't feel comfortable. So I kind of was stuck. I don't want this empty spiritual type of people that know how to preach and teach and be missionaries, but formal missionaries. I don't know. It was so weird, because but I also didn't want just whoever with a very kind heart, but also so disaligned. So it came to a point that I was like, maybe this doesn't exist, but I don't want to settle for just anything else. So it is a real thing. And now I have a question for you. What does a comfortable faith looks like?
Comfortable faith sounds more like it's just you are in your own comfort zone. I think you cannot put faith in that same phrase when you say comfort, because when you are in your faith journey, there are comfort places, but it's not going to be comfortable all the time. And take examples of the disciples. I mean, how many of them were comfortably happy in their faith journey? Like after Jesus ascended to heaven, how many of them were really comfortable, secure, peaceful, living a comfortable life? No, it cannot be. A faith will be shown only when it is tested. It is like me or school kids or college kids saying, I know the subject very well, right? But how do you prove it? There should be some type of test to show it. And in that, they get an A grade, they get 100 percentage as a result. Then I agree, yeah, that's a great test, and you came out in flying colors. But without that test, it's all words. It doesn't have any substance to it. And that's how, when you say comfortable faith is, you might say you have faith, but when the
probably
first
it's
trial
not
comes,
used.
first trial comes, it's all out the window, and we start complaining about Christ. So, comfortable faith cannot, should not, in my opinion, be in the same phrase. But faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Now, can people be comfortable with their faith journey? Absolutely, but no one starts with comfortable faith, because everyone has to go through some type of process, and in the way, in the process, we definitely will be complaining or constantly crying to God and all of that. That is part of the journey. And the amazing thing I love about Christ is that He takes it all. He takes it all. He sees our struggles. He accepts what we go through, and the little might that we can put in, whether it is through effort, physical effort, it is through financial stuff, whatever it might be. God is willing to bless us with that little faith that we have.
Amen.
So that our faith can grow. So, the comfortable faith,
It's a red flag.
it's a red flag, because then I have everything God has given me. Some people, I have seen some people say those things. God has given me everything that I need. I don't have any issues in my life. Oh boy, their marriage would be struggling. The wife is struggling and crying, but this person is so oblivious to what's happening around him. Oh, God has blessed me with everything. I'm in need of nothing. It's my faith journey. But,
Wow. No, that's why I married you.
because you're going through struggles, or because you see comfortable faith in me?
Because I see you are a thinker and not just cliche phrases, but
okay,
you process any question I ask. So, and yes, we have been growing in faith.
Yeah.
So I can totally see it. And
Yeah.
I had a little bit of that comfortable faith, like plan ahead type of faith or secure type of faith, which was not really faith. And as we've been together, I have seen what like true faith looks like. And I had my faith journey, but it was like baby style faith journey, and now has been like grown up level. And there was an interesting illustration I heard just yesterday on another podcast I was listening to, and this lady was saying that her husband illustrates faith like muscle building. He's like a bodybuilder or does a lot of exercise, and so he was saying, if you're not shaking and it's not like really, then you're not really progressing and growing.
Exactly.
And faith is the same. If you're not shaking a little bit in your life because of trials and things, your faith is not growing. It's becoming comfortable and stagnant. And is that faith? No. Because faith requires that holding on with all your might to God, right? So, very true.
Yeah.
So comfortable faith is a red flag, because what I guess this is kind of saying, like, someone, because we see a lot of Christians that have a little bit of this comfortable Christian journey. It's kind of stagnant. It's not growing.
Yeah.
And that is concerning if we find ourselves in that place, because we will not develop into what God wants us to develop.
Exactly. I think one of the examples that I really like as well is when a seed is planted, it has to fight the rocks and the soil and everything for it to spring up, right? It doesn't have like a direct access to just come out. It has to push through different things, and then it can come to the surface, and then it can grow.
Wow.
Only then it can have a solid foundation. And the same thing goes with the faith as well. Again, I want to reiterate it. I'm not saying faith cannot be comfortable at all, but
It can
comfort
be
alone,
peaceful,
yeah,
but
comfort alone is not faith.
no.
Because it's so amazing working with God. It is like you have the struggle, you are fighting, and all those things happen, and then you have a phase where you feel like by God's grace you've gained that strength, you gained that faith, and then the next level comes, and then God will allow you to go through that struggle, go through that trial, tragedy, pain, whatever is necessary to strengthen our faith more. And then if we are successful in that with his strength, he will give us some more peaceful time, and then he will give a little bit more. He doesn't give all the struggles in one shot because he knows we will fail terribly. So thank
Yeah.
God for being very careful, gentle with us, and he gives the trials only those things that we can handle, not things we cannot handle. Imagine
That's
how
a
the
promise.
imagine how the world would be if all destruction came in one single time. None of us will survive. None of
No.
us will even be alive. Well, with that being said, we have spoken about superficial Christianity and then comfortable faith and all of that. It all goes hand in hand, kind of, right? My next question is, how do we measure spiritual maturity beyond Bible knowledge and church attendance?
We have something exciting that we want to share. Maybe you're like, what is the strength in my relationship? How is the quality of my relationship like? How can I gauge or get an idea where I'm at or what things maybe I need to grow?
Or you might not even know how your relationship is growing, and you are trying to figure it out and you don't know how to figure it out. We have a beautiful free resource for you. It is a 3-minute relationship strength quiz. You can find it on our website. It's free for everyone. You can just go put our website. We'll put it here right here. It's called naturalhealingproject.com, and then you just scroll down. You will be able to find, it says relationship strength quiz. It is for anyone that is committed, single, or in relationship. Feel free to go and check it out and do the quiz.
You will get a percentage of the strength of your relationship with the answers you give and some tips, advice, and suggestions to move forward in strengthening even more.
We do have to talk about church attendance because many times people think attending church every weekend makes them spiritual. It doesn't. Right? So there is something beyond that. There is something, if God is only one day in your week, there is something wrong. You need to work on it. But how do we measure spiritual maturity beyond Bible knowledge and beyond just church attendance? You know, for me, I know I'm asking you, but go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
You want to say something?
Go ahead.
Spiritual maturity, I think like emotional maturity or many like maturity in general means that independence with the Lord or connection. So spiritual maturity is not overly connected to mentors, it's not overly connected to spiritual leaders in your life. Spiritual maturity is like you and God alone have a foundation. Others, for sure, God says in the multitude of counsel there is wisdom, and we need community for growth. We cannot be isolated atoms and expect to grow. But for me, one of that spiritual maturity is having your independence in the Lord.
Well,
Yeah.
How does it look like having independence in the Lord?
If you need to know God's will, you and God should know God's will, not go and ask others, what do you think it's the right thing? You can ask for counsel. Again, counsel is not bad, but you should not make your decisions out of counsel
on
and
what
what
people are
others think. So it should be direct. It should not be through them I get to God or through them I know God's will.
That's right.
Like like the people of Israel, they didn't want to talk with God because, no, Moses, you go. So they didn't have spiritual maturity. Moses did. And so I think it's that personal connection and experience you develop with God will bring you spiritual maturity. Fighting those battles like Jacob alone with God will help you get spiritual maturity. So that is an aspect that I think it's big. And many people struggle with that because they have had pre-digested spirituality in their life, and yeah, the stomach needs to get stronger with other foods, I guess. Yeah,
Very
with more
interesting.
direct
Very interesting.
things. So that's one thing that comes to my mind. You had something else, and then
For me, one cannot immediately evaluate if someone is spiritually mature or not. Only when you spend time with them, you will be
Right.
able to learn about them. Because if I come to a conclusion, I just see you for a few hours and then immediately I come to a conclusion, oh, she's a spiritual person, oh, she's not a spiritual person, then that is foolishness from my side, because I'm just concluding based off of what I saw you or whoever in that case for just few hours. That doesn't show maturity from my side. So I think it takes an evaluation. Many times we can know them by their fruit, but also you have to evaluate over a period of time.
Right.
And especially I'm talking in this in regards to relationships. We cannot see a guy or we cannot see a girl just in one instance and come to a conclusion, okay, they are very spiritual people, I want to
right,
get to
right,
know them,
yeah.
you know.
It's something that needs time to have more understanding where they're at.
Exactly.
And as we evaluate others, especially in the season of looking for someone, we should also be developing those areas ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no point in looking for a spiritually mature person if I myself am not allowing God to mature me in that area. So it's a work that I cannot make it. God needs to mature me through that interaction that we have personally, you know. So spiritual maturity only, I believe, comes with personal experiences with God, that you learn to fight or talk and get your answers, and you and him, not pre-digested through books and sermons and comments and counselors.
Yeah.
Those are added, but that should not be your foundation.
That cannot be the
So
primary.
when we're children, yes, our parents are leading us to God, and we have those mentors as we grow up and we're teenagers, but those mentors should point us to God and make that connection as we become adults, or even, you know, Jesus himself.
Yeah.
When he was 12 and he recognized his role, he started to have that connection that he realized, my father is God. And even his earthly parents
Yeah.
didn't have the authority to determine what God's will was for him. And I think that is huge. Spiritual maturity can be seen in, as I said first, that. And I think also spiritual maturity is revealed through difficulties or tough experiences. It can shake even the most mature person. You know, Jesus himself was shaken in moments of trial, and many apostles and prophets and cried and run away and were shaken. But I think when you see someone that at the first wind they're throwing away God or choosing another path, that's a sign that there's not strong roots in the spiritual walk. So can we be shaken? Can we cry? Can we get depressed? Can we get anxious? Yes, in a Christian walk, we will experience turmoil sometimes and difficulties that will shake our foundation. But spiritual maturity will be shown in turning to God, not to other things as the first escape. So I think that's another area that can reveal spiritual foundation, or root system.
Do you have a question for me?
Yes. So another question is, what is a personal way God has shown you He's real, not through religion, but relationship?
Okay, that God has shown me that He is real. I think when we started this walk of faith, I think God came through showing different things. One of the things that I shared recently with my client is I prayed. I prayed to God, asking to do a miracle for me. Right? I went to attend an interview, and then in that interview, we find out that both the interviewer and myself, we find that it is not a good match for both of us, and it's not going to work well. So I backed off, and they also were like, "Yeah, it's not going to be a good match for us as well." So both happened, right? Yet I felt like I needed someone to tell me that they are looking for someone like me. So the next day after that interview morning, I pray, asking God, please show me, do me a miracle. And then I clearly, distinctly hear this impression, hear this voice saying, be specific. What miracle do you want? And then I pray, God, I want someone to come and tell me that they have been looking for exactly someone like me, and that they would like me to go and start working there as soon as possible. In less than 5 hours, this lady that I spoke with and I shared everything about my job or what type of job I was looking for, she said those very words. She said, Martin, you know, we have been looking for someone exactly like you for a few months, and I feel very positive about this.
Wow.
And I think you should come and start to work for us as soon as possible.
Wow.
Very same words. This has nothing to do with religion.
Religion.
It has nothing to do with someone else's experience. It's my personal experience. No one can take it out of me. People can say maybe I'm making up stories. That's between them and God, right? But my experience is my experience.
No one can take it.
No one can take it. No one can alter it. No one can remove it from my mind. And I know that is just one example. There are several examples, but that those type of experiences help us to be drawn closer to Him. It'll help us to have a relationship with Him, make it more genuine with Him, and not something that is just head knowledge, but more of a personal experience.
Wow. Wow. Thanks for sharing. Now, definitely, when He communicates clearly, it's truly a relationship. It's a connection. It's not
Yeah.
just theory
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
what others say.
It's like a marriage, right? It's a beautiful marriage. Many times what we do is we want God to answer our prayer according to what we want, not what He thinks is best. So in marriage it's the same thing. I expect you to do certain things for me according to what I want, not what is best for the family always. So that's why we always communicate, we share, we talk, and see what is best. And that's how it goes with God as well. He will know what is best. In this case, He saw that me going to work at this place was the best thing, and He wanted me to be specific. I asked God to do a miracle, and he was willing to do the miracle, and that's why He asked, be specific. What miracle do you want?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I shared, and in less than 5 hours, no one can change that. I can even bring that lady and tell her to share, even though it happened like several years ago.
Yeah.
But still, it's a miracle that happened, and yeah, those type of experiences strengthen our Christian walk. Remove the superficiality, remove the head knowledge, remove the eloquence in preaching, even in singing, beautifully singing. But none of it will make any impact if you don't have a relationship with God.
Wow.
So, and last question from my side. Have we, by any chance, replaced transformation with performance? Do we prefer to perform more than to actually have a transformation in our hearts?
Many times, I think performance comes first, not that it should, but it's easier to act out what we want than sometimes be transformed. Because being transformed takes dedication, and it's basically a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely, I think many times emphasis is put in performance, in our actions, because it's the easiest thing we can observe, others can observe. So for us to evaluate how are we doing is the easiest way. Transformation, it's a deeper work that we cannot do, but God has to do in us. So I think performance is basically self-sufficiency, and transformation is a God thing.
Yeah, transformation starts from within, right? It comes from inside, and I don't have to pretend to be a Christian. I don't have to pretend to be a nice guy. It just comes out, radiates through me. But with performance, I have to be performing so that people are watching me, 100 people are watching me, 1,000 people are watching me. Let me try to do stuff, but I'm tired of this thing. I'm tired of pretending to be this spiritual person, godly person. But when it comes to a transformation itself, I remember this verse from the Bible where Jesus says, a light that is lit is not hidden under a bushel, but it is set on a hill, right? And that's how it is. Once you have the light of Christ, you don't have to pretend to do anything. You just live your life. That's enough. God is not expecting us to do any special effects to show other people that we are Christians. You just live the life. Be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. That is all they're asking for. That is all God is asking for. But when we start pretending to do the stuff, it's tiring. We don't want to do it. And then sometimes when we are triggered, the human thing comes out and all of that. But when God does the transformation in our heart, yes, our human side will still come out because we are not in a perfect world yet. So there is temptation, there is bodily weakness, and all of those things. But still, there is some type of transformation step by step that keeps happening where God's character will be revealed more in me than my own character.
And something that I liked, I read in a book recently, talking about like habits, instead of focusing on the performance and the goal, focus in who you want to become. So let's say I want to have a, body that is fit and muscles that are strong. Okay, I need to work out this much and I have to not eat this or eat that. It's going to be tiring to focus on that all the time. And I might give up, like, oh, I cannot keep this diet, or oh, I'm so tired to exercise. But if I focus, who do I want to become? I want to become more disciplined and stronger, and I want to have a brain that is more fresh and alert, and I want to feel happy and be a walking testimony to others of health and wellness. Then who I want to become is a different person through it. And it's very different than just, oh, I want to do this and this. It's not a checklist of things I need to do to accomplish a goal, but it's who I want to become in the process. So I think the same happens with, instead of focusing on performance, okay, I need to know my Bible, I need to read a chapter a day, I need to talk like a spiritual person. And when I work with clients, many times ladies ask, like, guys are looking for spiritual girls, like, how can I be more spiritual? So it's not about what to do to be more spiritual. It's, I want to know more about Jesus. I want him to be my friend. I want him to guide me. I want him to transform me, to make me more patient, more kind, more wise. And as those things start becoming your passion, you will become by default more spiritual, because you will be connected with God, who is the source of spirituality. So I think we need to focus less on performance and more on who do we want to become.
Amen. Amen.
Well, I think we will end this topic here. Every topic can be a never-ending topic, but we will end for today. But if there's anything that you want to share, what has helped you in your journey to have a genuine experience with God, share it in the comments or let us know, because we would love to hear it and also to be inspire one another in our journeys with God. So until next episode, bye bye.